Well, good morning. Thursday morning, everybody. March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is as green as I could get. But my name is Jay Vix with JVI Mobile Marketing, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Experts. You know, they talk about the luck of the Irish, and then you talk about unlucky 13. So we've got two forces at battle today. This is episode number 13 of Meet the Experts, and it's March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, so it's battling the luck of the Irish. So we're going to be unlucky or lucky. I think we're going to be lucky today. I think it's going to be a great episode. Today we've got Scott Hall coming on in just a minute. He's with FirstPoint Background Screening Resources. I've been fortunate enough to get to know Scott over the last year and work with him and the company, and really excited to talk to him about all types of background screening, from employment screening, tenant screening, volunteer screening, and anything else background check related. So without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome Scott to the screen here. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Good morning, Jay. I'm doing well. It's great to be with you, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you. And do you have any St. Patrick's Day plans for today?
The only celebration I hope to be doing is around 6:30 or 7 tonight after North Carolina has won their March Madness basketball game. So that is what I'm looking forward to tonight. But no, outside of that, I'm afraid we're pretty boring when it comes to celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that's good. I'm really excited that the tournament is kicking off today. I love this time of year.
Oh yeah.
I filled out my bracket last night, but I had Rutgers going 2 rounds in, and then when they lost, I had to quickly change the bracket because I don't think Notre Dame's going to beat Alabama. So
no, but
yeah.
here's your St. Patrick's Day relating to March Madness. Last night, Notre Dame won their game in double overtime. And when the final seconds on the clock ticked off, it was actually 12:02 a.m. today. So they won their game on St. Patrick's Day. So there's your luck of the Irish for Notre Dame.
Well, all right. You're right. That's absolutely. I didn't even realize that because I had fallen asleep it was right at about halftime. And when I woke up this morning and heard about how that game ended, I was like, man, if only I didn't have a busy day today. It sounded like it was an amazing game to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's talk about FirstPoint Background Screening Resources. Tell us a little bit about the background. How long have you been in business here in the Triad?
Well, it's a great question. We have been in business in the Triad for a very, very long time. We actually are a for-profit corporation, and we are part of the nonprofit organization, the Guilford Merchants Association. So, of course, GMA, their founding goes back to 1906 when they started as a local association. And then in the 40s, we actually began as a FirstPoint Collection Resources. We started as a credit bureau. At one time, we were the local credit bureau here in the Piedmont Triad area, and just have continued to evolve. In the 90s, we set up our background screening operation, and today we're kind of a national provider of consumer information with lots of different areas that make up who the FirstPoint organization is.
Very good. As a big fan of GMA, which you know, I often find it amazing that it's been what does it make, like 116 years of
1906 is when they started.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I find it to be really, it's just an interesting company and everything you've done. I've learned so much about this industry over the last year or so. But how did you get into this career?
Well, that is an interesting story. When I graduated from college, I actually went to work for a bank, and I kind of grew up as a banker and spent about 15 years in the banking industry. And the bank that I worked for, ironically, was a client of FirstPoint. We bought credit reports and various other things from FirstPoint via Equifax. And that's how I got a relationship with the company and got to know the ownership that was here. And an opportunity came up in the division that I'm now managing that included the background screening side. So I joined the organization more from the credit reporting, kind of Equifax side of the business. and eventually learned my way and kind of started at the ground up on the background screening side of the company. And then today our division is all about background screening, employment, tenant, student, volunteer. So I kind of got into it a little bit by way of backdoor from being a customer of FirstPoint at one point in time to coming on for certain lines of businesses and then learning this business along the way. But that was 21, 22 years ago. So we have a pretty good handle on it today.
Absolutely. I know you definitely do. Tell me some of your favorite things about work, like your favorite part of what you do.
Well, I tell you, other than the terrific people that I get a chance to work with every day, I would probably say the most important item, as you know, with what you do in business today is information. And we are in the information business. We provide vital information to our clients that allows them to be able to make a hiring decision or allows them to decide who to lease an apartment to. So it's pretty important information that a company needs. I call it the 3 P's of protection. And so what I mean by that is we provide protection for our clients. We provide protection for their employees or their tenants. And we provide protection for a client's reputation. You know, if you're a public facing client, if you're a hospital, a healthcare organization, a retail business, you know, hiring the wrong person can really impact your reputation in the marketplace. And you think about it, you know, we're protecting our clients by making sure they're doing their risk management. We're protecting their other employees. You know, as you bring on new employees, you want to make sure you're not putting your existing employees at risk or other tenants that are in your apartment complex. And then the same thing with your reputation. So that type of work is extremely rewarding to know that we're having a big say in providing that information to our clients so they can make a well-educated and informed decision.
That's a great answer. I mean, you truly are making a difference in the lives of the people you work with. I mean, it's definitely making an impact, and that's wonderful. Cool. Before we continue, I just want to say that if you happen to be watching this on the live or the recording, and you have any nice comments for Scott or questions that could come in, we can. If you're watching the recording later, we can always forward them along. But go ahead and pop those into the chat wherever you're watching. We're streaming on 6 different places at once right now, 5 different Facebook pages or groups, and 1 YouTube channel. So if you have anything, go ahead and pop it in the comments, and we'll try to get it up on screen, and maybe try not to throw Scott a curveball here, but anyway. So that being said, and the impact you're making probably takes a bit of effort. So you have to have a good supportive team. And you had mentioned earlier that you have great people that you work with. Tell us a little bit about your team. I know you have others, so tell us about it.
Yeah, we've got a terrific group of dedicated, well-trained team members here at FirstPoint. All of our team members are certified in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and that's the federal regulatory group that governs what we do. We also have our own in-house compliance department. This is probably one of the most heavily regulated items that there is in what a company does, is the HR side, and particularly background screening on the employee and the tenant front. So we have our own compliance department. We have our own in-house IT technology department. You know, in a lot of ways, what we do today is really about technology. I joke with people and I say, we're really a technology company that happens to do background screening. When you think about the delivery systems that we have to have and the way we work with companies today from that standpoint. And then lastly, and probably most important, is our company is accredited. We're accredited from the Background Screening Credentialing Council. They're part of the Professional Background Screening Association, which is our national association. It's kind of like our good housekeeping seal of approval. It means we've had a third-party independent auditor who's come on site, reviewed what we do, how we do it, and have said to make sure that we're doing it the right way. You know, our clients need kind of that independent verification. I would love for them to just believe me when I tell them that we're really good at what we do, but it always helps to have that third-party verification to kind of prove that. So it's our people here at FirstPoint. It's how we do what we do that really do make the difference.
Awesome, and I can attest to everyone I've met on the team, which is a handful, have been great, very supportive, and always really pleasant to deal with. So I will vouch for that as well.
I
So
appreciate that.
certainly. So I know we talked about employment screening, tenant screening, volunteer student. So I guess it almost answers the question, but can you tell us about some of the common types of issues that you can help with?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I kind of like to think of us as the undercover cop, the undercover agent for our clients. If you think about what we do, like for a potential new hire, what is behind their resume? They're presenting their picture to you in the best light they can. What, if anything, possibly is behind that resume? What is the potential tenant not telling you about their past that could potentially cause a risk for others that are in your complex? A lot of times what we don't think about is the volunteer side. What do you really know about that coach who's coaching your kid's soccer team at the Y? Don't you want to know that somebody has gone through a process of checking this person out and making sure that I know when I leave my kid for soccer practice, I'm okay and things are going to be okay with my kids? So I kind of like to think of it as we bring peace of mind to our clients and to those that we serve. We've kind of talked about the 3 Ps that I mentioned earlier, but it's kind of like the MasterCard. Take the old MasterCard commercial. The price of a background check is X. Information that we provide to make a decision, cost Y. But that peace of mind, well, that really is priceless at the end of the day. So I
Love
think a
that.
big part of what we do is we bring that peace of mind to all the clients that we work with, that they can feel comfortable in the decisions that they're making about these individuals.
You said something that just really hit home, because we often like to talk about in terms of the marketing that we do as an agency, that people don't buy products and services, they buy transformations,
Right.
right? And that's exactly what you just described. It's like, yeah, the product and services, background screening and background checks, but what you're really selling is knowing that your child is going to be safe when you drop them off at camp. You have that,
Exactly.
that peace of mind. So I really do that resonates big time. And as a dad of a child and a girl, and those are things that I would want to know, like, who am I putting my child with? Can I trust them?
Yeah,
So
I mean, exactly. I mean, you think about school systems, you think about hospitals, healthcare facilities, you think about the vulnerable populations that are out there. We do a lot of work with nursing homes, with assisted living care. You drop off your aging mom and dad, and when you leave, do you really know what's going on? Can you feel
right.
comfortable in that? So knowing that there's kind of somebody like a FirstPoint behind you and working with these organizations, should give you that peace of mind, or at least should give you that level to know, I know these folks have done all that they can do and their due diligence to make sure that everybody's going to be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense. It almost makes me ask, like, gosh, why wouldn't everybody just work with you? Or
Yeah.
it's almost makes you want to put pressure to make sure and say, hey, who do you work with for your, how do I know that you're safe? Who do you use for background checks, and making sure that people do? I guess it should be on a list of questions everyone should ask the day camps and nursing homes and schools and everything else. So
It's great that you said that, and that's true. And don't forget about the service industry. When the compliance guy shows up at your house to fix your dishwasher, when they show up to fix your washing machine, when the construction workers show up to repair the roof or to do some painting work for you, you've exposed your family. You've
right.
exposed your kids, you've exposed your family. I'm sure you're hoping that the company that you are working with has gone through this process of doing a background screening. And we encourage people, ask the question. When you're getting ready to engage someone to do some type of service for you, or you're getting ready to put your kid in a summer camp, or whatever the case may be, do you ask the question, do you background screen? What do you do? What is your due diligence process in checking out the folks that I'm about to turn over some of my most precious assets to?
Wow. Yeah. And you know, as summer is coming up and school is going to be wrapping up unbelievably in just a couple of months,
And
um, we're looking at those things now, and you just gave a lot of really good perspective on that. And I know that I'm going to be asking those questions now that maybe I wouldn't have, because sometimes I think we go through and we just assume that they've done these things. But I think it's
right,
really important
exactly.
to directly ask that question. So thank you for sharing that. Uh, so I know we're just getting ready to wrap up. It's been a great interview. I feel like I've learned a lot. I know it goes really fast. You feel like you're live for 2 minutes and the episode seems over. Uh, but we have a ticker at the bottom of the screen. If your company or you're in charge of screening for your company, or maybe you're just listening to Scott and saying, "Wow, we need to make sure that we're vetting people properly." You can definitely contact FirstPoint Background Screening Resources by phone. We have the number there, 877-4BK-GRND, or 4background, or by email, info@firstpointscreening.com. But if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, Scott, to talk about, getting onboarded or getting started, is there any other way that they could reach out to you?
They could certainly send me an email directly. That email is my first initial and the last name. So that's SHALL at, and this is spelled out, firstpointresources.com. Be happy to respond to anyone who may have a question or want to inquire. It's like you said, we've got the number that's supported by our client support team that's answered by live people. At any time, that's the 877-425-4763. But shall at firstpointresources.com will get their email directly to me.
Perfect. And I just want to point out again that the shall at firstpointresources.com is correct and is different than the actual website, which is firstpointscreening.com. So lest there be any confusion, if you're watching this and you send an email to shall at firstpointscreening.com, maybe you'd get that anyway. I don't know if there's a forwarder, but yeah, firstpointresources.com. Well,
It'll
listen,
find me.
that's right. Yeah, you can get a hold of them. If not, you contact me and I'll forward it along. So, but Scott, listen, thanks for being a guest on St. Patrick's Day. I hope you enjoy the March Madness, and good luck to your Carolina Tar Heels. I don't want to get into any debates. I'm not a fan of North Carolina teams in general, so I have nothing to debate with you about. But hopefully for your sake they win and move on in the tournament. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And we'll talk soon.
I appreciate that, Jay. Thank you for having me. And if I can help any of your listeners in any way, don't hesitate to get in touch with us.
Perfect. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was my interview with Scott. Listen, if you would like to be a guest on Meet the Experts, all you have to do, check the new ticker. That's at the bottom of the screen. All you have to do is visit guests with an S, guests.advertisinggreensboro.com. And go ahead and onboard yourself to be a guest, and we'll set up a sound check and find out if it's the right fit for you. Costs you nothing. We'll be happy to spotlight your business and help you share the word with others. And if your business is just struggling with ways to get online, what you can be doing online to grow your business, we'd love to talk with you about that as well with JVI Mobile. So go ahead and reach out to me, Jay at jvimobile.com, or just visit guests.advertisinggreensboro.com and sign up to be a guest on the show. I'd love to talk to you and learn more about your business. Until then, happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend ahead. Take care.